Here are some more 25 in nail hands. Some of these river calls are diabolical, so I'm learning my lesson. In this hand, it was a dead small blind. I got ace jack, and I made it a little bit too small. I think I should make it a standard raise, even with the dead small blind in the hand. The big blind raises 3x. I'm not very deep, and I think it's a good sizing, but I do decide to put in a 4-bet, pretty light. I think it's the worst hand I do this with in position. I really just wanted him to fold, but since we go to a flop, I do hit a pair. He still could have queens plus, so I think the play here is to just check. The turn is a blank, nothing really changes, and he actually leaves very small. He led so small, I just thought he didn't have anything. And for once, I was right. He didn't have a pair, so I got lucky this time. Okay, this hand is pretty embarrassing. I'm just going to be honest. And up front, we got an open. I decide to raise it on up with pocket tens. I think this is a standard play. It gets unstandard when it rolls around to the big blind. When he re-raises me, it should signal that he's at the top of his range, and I could probably let tens go. Or if I do call, I know I'm pretty much behind everything, and I'm just set mining at this point. On this flop, I feel like the only way I can win once he checks is to shove. When, of course, I run into the nuts, basically, when he shows pocket queens. Way too ambitious. So in this hand, I'm in the small blind, and the under the gun makes it 4x. So I normally perceive these as a really weak range. They just want people to fold with a marginal hand. I considered squeezing and getting a +1 player because I figured he had a marginal hand as well. I didn't think either player were very strong, but I also didn't think if I raised that they were going to fold. They may just jam or do something crazy. So I tried to set mine in this position. When the UTG made it so small and +1 call, I felt like I was getting a decent price to hit a 7. So I decided to see one more card, which I don't think nothing's wrong with that. But as soon as the ace hits the turn, I'm done with the hand. He bet small again. I can't believe the +1 got called, but I actually folded. Finally, I made a decent play, at least on the turn. So I actually think this is a real interesting spot with an interesting hand. Wait, just hear me. I know I got pocket fives, but okay, I get called by the button, which has a really wide range. I also get called by the small blind, which he should really have a tight range. In real time, I just bet 33%. But what if I bet the pot or over the pot against these two ranges? I think it would make it tough for them to continue with the air in the range or like a weak king. Or I could just fold pre, but I'm saying, just hear me out. With my hand being so weak, I think betting large will make it difficult for them to continue. And instead of just losing the entire pot, I have a better chance to win sometimes at least. Take this hand, for example. I'm in the big blind with Jack 3 offsuit. The small blind has a playable hand, so he makes it 3x. Since I feel like I can run him over, I made the call. On this board, I feel like I have the worst hand, so the only way I can win it is to airball bluff. And I do, and he folds. So my bluffs work sometimes. It's fun to be aggressive. I wake up with pocket eights, 6-handed, and of course I'm gonna raise and the big blind defends. With me having such a weak hand, I think I'm gonna check any flop that comes my way. If he leads to me, I'm just gonna fold. So on this flop, I do check, and when the board pairs, I think I got enough showdown to kind of hang around if he bets. He bets kind of large. I don't mind calling in this position, but I do feel like that I turn my hand face up, especially when the 10 comes, I should just fold pretty much anything because I just don't think when he bets this big, especially, I just don't think that he's betting like an ace king or ace jack or pocket sevens. I think he has stick value here, and I should just let my pocket eights go. This hand really surprised me. I still played it poorly, but I was shocked of how I got beat. So I try to isolate the middle position limp when the big blind calls, and actually the middle position folds. It's tough to make a pair, so I decided to bet small on this board. Again, when I get called, alarm bell should go off though. The turn is a blank. I'm starting to pay attention to alarm bells at least a little bit, and I check back on this one. The river brings in some straights, but the flush draws miss. I'm not sure how many straights he has. He definitely has more than I do. I don't even block any straights. But I still decide to try to go for some thin value. Really too thin. But I got to give the big blind props because he check raised me and he found a sucker for a customer and got me to call with a worse hand. And this guy had pocket queens. It's nasty. I think I should only have a straight there, and I think he should only have a straight there. But like I said, he found the one sucker that would call him. Let's get into some more blind versus blind action. I'm in the small, and the villain's in the big. I opened the 5X. I think I like the larger size now. All things considered, not a terrible flop for my range, so I bet small, and the villain makes the call. The board's starting to get a little iffy, but I decided to size up a little bit and try to see if I can get him off a decent hand. Blank on the river, and it's time to show the big blind the magic of bluffing.